Well, hello. What was this again? Okay, here we go. Just checking out my background stuff again. Might be soon. I guess we're gonna start off with this. I do want to go over this right quick. Have not looked at this stuff really at all. Been trying to avoid this till we, I guess, kind of did the stream. Was maybe gonna do a video about it, but since we have as much of a time to record a video right now as I would really like to, and I don't know, very extra short notice with this one. Oh, hey Jester, hey Black Ninja, let's just go ahead and share this right quick. Let's go ahead and officially announce it. Announcements, here we go. Let me just get back over to here right quick. But yeah, I haven't really looked at any of this stuff. I've had some like basic talk about it, like enough to know that apparently the collectibles event's getting reworked, which feels like a very tight window from the last update. Like, it's, I won't say it really scares me how quickly this update came, but it makes me have some concerns. Could it maybe be a little bit extra? Because I wouldn't have blamed the team for taking a little bit more time off given the stuff that's happening with them. Like, I would have thought of them actually been able to get the new update out, worked on it, and all that kind of stuff. I really thought we would have like a lot more time before the like next update to the game. But here we are. Let me just catch up on chat right quick. Hey Jester, hey Black Ninja. I would tomorrow or Friday, because they also have they like to drop stuff on Friday. Although I can't remember when the actual event wants to start. Let me actually double check that right quick. Let me check the calendar. When was that supposed to even start? So it should start the 15th. So tomorrow or Friday, I mean, sometimes they drop the update like day of the event starting, I mean, which doesn't always work out very well. But I can maybe see it being then. Doing good, Black Ninja. How about you? You're not ready for the event? I mean, I think mine are like decent, but I think it was just like decent enough to get me through last time. Like, they need to like have spent more previously, but they just weren't there. And I'm curious to see how they will mix them in there. Because is it going to be you have to finish the second map, which I don't think I will. I think I had like a couple more things to go. Yeah, so I'm interested. I went ahead and favorited, I think, all the people that you need to have for that. It's from what memory serves, and I think like the hiker, because I used him as my healer. But I think I favorited like all of the costume ones plus hiker, just so I'd have them like hopefully ready. So I remember to work on them. I'll try to like prioritize farming their gear and everything. I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenge actually getting through this event. Like, I think it's going to be a little bit of a pain, at least from where I was. Like, I think it's going to be a little bit of a, this one's going to be a lot harder to even get to because I wasn't fully through with this event. Although I can also maybe see them changing it, because at this point you kind of don't need as much of some of the stuff on the second map. Maybe like the locks for some of the stuff on the second map feels like locks to stuff you would have on a third map. At least to me. It'd be cool if the nodes are easy. I mean, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with that. I could finish this. I know I didn't do his last node. So, did I even get to that? I can't remember what I got to, but I knew like it was a weird one because you had the node with like Super Wrestler's second node. Like, that was kind of my goal, and then after that, I think you had at the very end Corn Guy's node. But like there was, I think, a couple nodes in between that, but they didn't have anything to really be looted on it. There was really no reason to do them unless you could do that last node. Yeah, wrestler no, because it felt weirdly RNG. Like I had done it before, but it just felt like every other time I did it, I got good RNG the first time because I was expecting it to be easy, and every other time after that was much harder. But we are going to get started here very shortly. Yeah, I remember I streamed it last time. I just need to go back and look at where I was, but like it was an interesting one. It just wasn't like the collectibles weren't high up on my priority list to like finish and like redo. But double checking the most recent one, yeah, Chili Suit Girl is actually a new figure, which is also cool to me that they are doing somebody from like the most recently released wave of collectible minifigures. We're probably going to cover that later because there's some really cool ones. I actually bought two recently. I could have actually bought her, but I decided not to. That I might be more tempted to now that she's in the game. There was, I think, 5 or 6 I wanted to see. I wanted the Ice Knight, I wanted Moon Knight, I wanted the Robot, and I wanted the Alien. And I think I kind of wanted the Force Spirit Kid and kind of the Bard. Like, they'd be decent. And I guess also the Chili Suit and the Raccoon Suit person wouldn't be too bad. Though I got I got the Bard, which was nice. And I got the Wheelchair Kid, which wasn't really one I was interested in getting, which was a little bit unfortunate. I mean, these things are like, gosh, $5 now. So I bought 2 for $10. So, like, getting the ones that you aren't as interested in is really extra bad because it's like, yeah, they ain't cheap. But yeah, let's go actually get started. Well, once I finish catching up on chat. You asked yourself, should try a different healer than Haika. Which accent came out as Haika. Yeah, YouTube subtitles are very, very, very interesting. Apparently, you can now like resubmit your own as a viewer or something. But I have to ask you, Go-Go, since you have been asking a bunch of people, if you are still here, what are your thoughts on these kits? There's also, I find sometimes the kits are hard to tell till you play them, and also like play other people, play them against other teams, cause like some don't sound as good, but they work out very well, like that very weird like anti-classic space team, which I might try that on today's stream. But we're going to get started. And I'll check at the very bottom to see what else was added in here, so there's nothing else in there. If we might be doing some reworks or something, but nothing. Because somebody talked about classic space nerf, and I'm like, have they actually been enough? I think they're still like the same strength they were previously. But we have new heroes and set. New iconic heroes. I mean, I say Mr. Gold is iconic. Chili Suit, which is Chili Costume Fan. I don't like that name. I would just say like Chili Fan or Chili Suit Bill. I like those better than Chili Costume Fans. Although CCF. Well, let's see. If it was Chili Suit Girl, I guess that would be the same as Chicken Suit Guys, so maybe they did it for the abbreviation. I mean, Fan's not bad, but it's just, I don't know, it feels kind of weird. But I won't say she's exactly iconic yet. Leo to 5 stars, excellent. I think I will once we have the next money bags. Let's see, new iconic heroes to boost your team. Chili Costume Fan and Mr. Gold, along with a very special, not just for Chicken Suit Guy, but everyone Easter Chick set, which I am actually really surprised they're doing at anything exactly Easter related, because I didn't think Lego really liked doing lots of that stuff. But hey, I'll take it. I just want to double check, make sure I have everything kind of on the screen there. There we go. Want to see how everything looks good. Yeah, I would have thought this would have taken a little bit longer. I am surprised they're dropping an update this quickly, because remember the Mind Games update got delayed like 5 days or something, because they had little problems getting that update through. Totally understand, but like they had some problems with that one. That got us to like mid March, and it's like mid March again. We're getting an update. Like this is kind of close to like I would say kind of like 1 month later, which I am very surprised that this is like 1 month later. We're getting an update when you previously had about 2 or 3 months per update, and they're in the middle of getting invaded. I really thought this would have been slower, though I'm also curious because maybe they've brought in another team to kind of work on it, another team kind of taken over or something. We have Chili Costume Fan, main role attacker. Chili Costume Fan is obsessed with chilies of all kinds, the hotter the better. She's determined to try every pepper the world has to offer, which is why she always keeps a carton of milk on hand. If she ever asks you to try something, the best thing to do is politely decline and run away as fast as you can. I really wish it gave a little bit more what the tags were. I don't think we have any like special tags here, but I can almost see Chili Suit Girl, or Chili Suit Fan, Chili Costume Fan, almost getting the chill tag or something. I don't know, it feels close enough. Basic, some like it hot. 100% damage to target foe. Inflicts 2 to 5 stacks of damage over time for 1 to 3 turns. Okay. Lots of like difference there. I mean, you can get 2 to 5 stacks. Is the 2 stacks gonna last for 3 turns, or the 2 stacks gonna last for 1 turn, or 5 stacks gonna be for 1 turn? 50% chance plus 5% bonus chance per costumed hero to gain 40% pep. 60% chance to inflict confused. Chance, bonus chance per custom heroes. Okay, so she has that percent chance to gain 40%. I thought the 40 like the pep increase, but no, it's the 50% chance. So she can get like kind of half a ton back, and a 60% chance to inflict confused. I'm assuming on them, or maybe it's on her, because confused almost sometimes works as a buff. Plus 5% bonus chance for each confused on the battlefield. So I guess that works a little bit better with Corncob Guy. But yeah, confused is kind of a weird one to me. And also I'm interested that confused is still kind of remaining a collectible debuff. I do at least like it when they keep some of the stuff themed a little bit more. I don't know how much that's going to actually do to classic space. I mean, there's some debuff stuff there, and that doesn't really affect classic space too much. Flaming Rain deals 65% damage to all foes, heals allies for 50% of damage dealt. It's not bad. Also not bad if attack is high. That's actually going to be really nice for the attacker challenge. I've been wanting like a healer or somebody for the attacker's challenge. Yeah, I've a decent. I had been saving a bit. Like I think I was spending just a little bit under the amount of gems a day that I brought in. Although I got my main goal, so I didn't have to spend too much. But I was saving because I did want to get some stuff in this next brick paste, and I also wanted to see maybe what would be the one after it. But May Glass do have, I think, like 400 gems saved up right now. I mean, that's hardly anything. But yeah, because it's going. I didn't think the collectible brick paste was going to be a big deal. Yeah, Leo will be at 5 stars whenever the next Moneybacks comes around. If Corncob Guy is an ally hero, inflict 3 stacks of damage over time to all foes for 1 to 3 turns, and Corncob Guy will assist with Festive Fight ability, which is give me a second. Let me load up Lego Legacy right quick. I've heard somebody say that this is the first time you have somebody assist with an ability. I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought this was going to be like maybe they'd assist with an ability of their own, not him. Let me load up, see what his Festive Fight is, which I'm assuming is his single target one and not the one where he like dumps the popcorn card on everybody. I guess I can just give the gear 7. You won't be able to see that on the screen right quick. Which is Festive Fight? Festive Fight is deals 160% damage to target foe and inflicts debilitate. Okay. All allies inflicted with confused for 1 turn and gain critical chance up 1 for 2 turns. So reading that ability, it does what it does, and then he will come and attack. I'm assuming just the one that you are targeting. Will attack them for a decent bit of damage and give debilitate. And then everybody will get confused and critical chance up 1. Okay, that's a little bit strong, a little bit of a weird one. Oh, and also you get everybody to have some stacks of damage over time. Okay. I mean, still not probably the best ability. See, assisting. I mean, that's what it says here. That's the Festive Fight ability is his. Let me double check if I read that. Yeah, his Festive Fight is his S1. His best basic is Breakfast Time. Which, I mean, I guess when it specify it, if he assisted with his basic, that's just his basic. So, that's what you do by default, so he'll do that. I wonder if that's going to affect cooldown or anything. Also, I'm curious what the cooldown with this is. What, did it say this is cooldown? Basic? Oh, this is level 5, okay. So, that's going to be pretty useful. And is there a way to, like, decrease their... I don't remember if there's a way to decrease your cooldown with collectibles yet. But it does 65% damage to every foe. Heals everybody for 50% of the damage dealt. Okay, so it's not too bad. I'm assuming what the attack's going to be. So you deal damage to everybody. He attacks for a decent bit of damage. Everybody gets some stacks of damage over time. Maybe. I mean, classic basic probably going to resist it or have debuff immunity. But then he will assist with his ability, which will put debilitate on, I'm assuming, just that foe. Give everybody on the collectibles team crit chance up 1 for 2 turns and give them confused so they can attack randomly, which is still kind of weird. I mean, I guess when it works, it works. When it doesn't, like, there's 5 enemies on the team, or maybe more depending on what kind of mode it is. But it's just like, you might attack somebody useful, you might not. So that's definitely different. Special 2. Careful around the eye. I also want to see what this person's animations look like. Some of the animations can really sell some of these characters for me. Deals 100% damage to target foe, plus 10% bonus damage for each confused on the battlefield. So I think you ideally would want to probably do this kind of... What makes him do this after Corncob guy assists? Or I guess maybe you want him to use his ability first, then her to do this one. She doesn't have to just use her thing, although this is a way to get more confused on the battlefield. But you probably want to try doing this where everybody will still have confused. So we'll do 150% damage, I guess. 40% chance to inflict 1 to 2 time bombs for 2 turns. So time bombs a little bit, definitely a lot stronger than damage over time. I think these also just damage over time. So time bombs are definitely a little bit stronger here. So it only does that to target foe. So nothing too crazy. Hot Dog Man assists with all the fixings ability. They reloaded the game. It is definitely something different added to kits, which I mean, I guess isn't too bad. It's just, although I mean, it takes a while to, I guess, kind of learn that all the assists are just with the basic. Also, Hot Dog Man, all the fixings. Okay, all the fixings is his S2, which is I think the one where he does the like ketchup and mustard gun. It deals 150% damage to target foe with a 85% chance to inflict health down or max health down 1 for 2 turns. If Hot Dog Man has skill up 1, also inflicts grit down 1 for 2 turns. So it has some combo potential, but not too much going on there. Like it definitely lots more basic. So you have some combo stuff with Corncob Guy and Hot Dog Man. Probably not like that big of a deal, but hey, he does an extra attack. Max health down, does something. Passive, does milk help. Whenever a hero would die from an attack, this hero gains hardy and takes 90% of damage. Okay. So it reduces the damage a bit and also gives him hardy. Then hero gain damage immunity for 1 turn. Okay, pretty strong. Attack up 2 and critical chance up 2 for 2 turns. And is afflicted with 3 stacks of time bomb for 2 turns. Okay, the time bombs is a little bit weird. At the start of the turn, increases Chili Costume fan speed by 3% for each stack of damage over time, and time bombs on the battlefield. Okay, so she's going to probably speed up a bunch. At the end of the turn, Chili Costume Fan has a 70% chance to clear 1 debuff from herself. If there is no debuffs, clear 2 debuffs from another random hero. Okay, so I guess that's how she does the time bomb. I don't know if that time bomb is... I thought that's going to be like extra big pain. Because they do what? If I remember correctly, time bombs do 30% damage. So in 2 turns, they're going to kind of explode. It's going to be very different there. And then we have Hot Stuff. At the start of a turn, Chili Costume Fan gains 10% attack for each confused on the battlefield. At the turn start, refresh bonus for each hero that have confused. Okay, so confused does boost a decent bit. At the start of battle, Corn Cob Guy gains plus 15% health. Chicken Soup Guy gains plus 25% attack, so extra good. Hot Dog Man gains plus 15% speed and 15% dodge, so not too bad. Whenever foe taunts, Chili Costume Fan does a bonus attack against that foe. She just hits them for 100% damage, inflicting 2 to 5 stacks of damage over time for 1 to 3 turns. And she just gains some pep. Has 50% chance to gain 40% pep. Also has a good chance to inflict confuse. So that's going to be pretty decent. I'm also curious to see what this ability is going to look like here. Like, when does the time bombs come in? Because maybe you might not want to upgrade that if you can prevent time bombs from happening. Damage immunity is great. Attack up and critical chance up will be good. Good for payback stuff too for Super Wrestler. But I don't know about putting time bombs on him too. But then you have Mr. Gold, who's a healer. Mr. Gold is an enigma. Whenever he goes, he graces everyone around him with his rich presence, dazzling attire, and sparkling personality. Was he born covered in gold? Is he cursed or blessed? Is that just paint? No one knows the answer. Mr. Gold is so mysterious. Well, we can assume they never will. Yeah, I know Mr. Gold has been in there for quite a while. So I'm gonna give me some glasses. The screen's kind of hurting my eyes a little bit. But yeah, I know he's been in here a while. I mean, he makes sense as a like big person to have like added into the game. Also, I'm probably get kind of far away from the mic here. Here we go. Those are the glasses. Yeah, he makes sense to get added into the game, like as a like important figure. But let's see. Golden Boot deals 100% damage to 1 to 2 random foes. Okay, so he just hits people at random. But like it's 1 to 2. I would probably prefer to do 2, but like it's just gonna be random. It's very weird. Has a 50% chance to inflict debilitate on a target foe. Okay, so he maybe can inflict that on people he doesn't even attack. Copies 1 debuff from self to target foe and 1 random foe. Okay. Copies 1 buff from self to another random hero. Okay, so Not too bad. That's definitely a different basic, and not like different in a bad way. Half and half. Half and half. Excited. It's weird. Like, I would have made a video on it, but I'm not like the most pumped for these. I mean, it's not bad by any means, and then I might even say it's definitely on the upper end. It's just kind of random. I probably could have did without more like collectible minifigures for a bit and collectible like costumed ones. Like but I have no real problems with Chili Suit Bill. I'm just gonna keep calling it that because I like that name better. Not bad, and it's a new fig, which is cool. There's some definitely other costume figs I would like more. Also, might be good for the costumed food people for a bit, unless you want to have like that be its own like tag now, like foodie or something. I wouldn't mind maybe a team for just like food related characters. Give me like Lizard Suit Man or something. Somebody a little bit different besides food. Mr. Gold's cool, but he's been kind of around for a while and kind of expected him. Doesn't make me feel like the most special time to add him. And the set just seems kind of random, but not too bad. I don't know, nothing's really bad here. It's just, I don't know, it's just kind of weird, so it doesn't get me too excited, even if these are like decent things to get added. Also, I have to kind of see how you can actually obtain them. Like, if it's going to be kind of like the last Ninjago characters added. I mean, I'm not going to really get any use out of them anytime soon. Though, if they could keep releasing an update like this every month, like that would be kind of good. Like a month and a half, adding in 2 new figs. Maybe a new set. I don't know if we necessarily. I don't feel like we need too many new sets exactly right now. Like, I don't think each update necessarily needs to have a new set. But you add in like 2 new figs would be kind of good. Also, do some stuff like actually touch upon like City. Give them some reworks, give them some new figs. I wouldn't mind maybe more basic Castle. Like, let's leave Spooky Castle alone. Though, I would like Castle that's not Spooky added. And I also would like Spooky that's not Castle added, as weird as that may sound. But I wouldn't mind both of those being expanded upon, but not doing so Spooky, not having them be like the same thing, and also probably not small Spooky Army or whatever. As much as I like Spooky Army, I think Spooky Army is probably good. I mean, I feel like at this point it should probably be, the next update should probably be City, but I wouldn't say that about this one and probably the last one. Like, well, Ninjago I think was okay, because Ninjago hasn't had too much. I mean, City hasn't either, but at least for like City and Ninjago were the most neglected. And they're probably the most out of being like meta too. So I think both of them could use some work. I would definitely not have probably done collectibles this time, but I guess they're doing something that's kind of loosely Easter-ish related. I mean, it's with the Easter chick, but I guess that's kind of the main thing there. Although also knowing that there's King Kahuna, I could maybe see them throwing that in with like an Imperial rework. What's Imperial? Imperial Brick Pace rerun soon. Let's see, Black Ninja, you didn't prepare for the collectibles cause Sicko told me they're not important anymore. Yeah, that's the thing. It didn't seem like they were important enough to really prioritize too much with this. Also, did anybody else really majorly expect to get a, like, the next update was going to be collectibles focused, considering our last update was Ninjago, which was like 2 brick paces ago? Like, I thought it would probably be something later. Like, I really expected this one to get reran and to be like the same and not really have anything. But I also got Classic Space up and running, so I'm kind of like decent right now. Let's see, we have Special 1, Spinning Spree. Clears all debuffs from all heroes. Okay, so he does this, and I guess he gets rid of the time bombs. Pretty decent. Also, I guess he gets rid of Confused, which might be good. Heal all heroes for 20% of Mr. Gold's max health. Okay, that's decent. City heroes will gain bonus 3%. City heroes will gain bonus 3% bonus. That's the boy just about. Heal for each stack of courage on the team. So he's gonna have some synergy with some courage stuff and some city heroes. So sounds like it could be definitely some city. Yeah, these guys definitely won't be. These guys probably will be paid to win. I'm hoping they're at least semi-accessible, but I guess it also depends on what you. Well, at least for me this time, I have not finished the brick pacer being added in, which might make it a little bit worse. But at least I wasn't like through with it. And like that previous Ninjago one, I had finished all the other stuff there besides getting J to 7 stars. So not being able to do it there to me was extra worse than maybe here, because at least here I haven't like finished everything. There's likely to be something here for maybe eventually a city rework, which is very interesting. Would be very curious to see how this all works with city. A random hero attacks enemy for 100% damage, 50% chance that 2 random heroes will perform a bonus attack on random foes. So he just has people come in for just extra damage, really. Special 2, Crystal Clear, deals 130% damage to target foe, plus 60% bonus damage for each stack of termination on heroes. And the only person that gets termination right now is Yuppie, if I'm not mistaken. There is a 75% chance to inflict disarmed on each foe for 1 to 2 times. Okay, this just affects each foe anyway, so kind of like Chicken Soup Guy's ultimate. Wait, no, that's not his ultimate. He does Clumsy. So just really shut down some stuff. It's pretty good. I mean, if you get that on Classic Space, it'll be pretty useful. There is a 75% chance to inflict disarmed on each foe. What was that? If target foe is defeated, heals all heroes for 20% of Mr. Gold's max health, so pretty good. Plus 15% bonus health for collectible and city heroes, so he works on city and collectible. Now we have passive 1, Fancy Dress. At the start of battle, sorry, I'm turn on the fan. It's getting kind of hot in here. Fancy Dress. At the start of battle, costumed heroes gain 5% speed and 5% accuracy. Okay. If Chicken Soup Guy or Corn Cob Guy is on the team, increases their critical chance by 10% and critical damage by 40%, so not too bad. Whenever Yuppie or Businessman attacks a foe, Mr. Gold has 3% chance to assist, so it's kind of interesting there. Interesting, we're going to shout out to Trent. World Go Round. At the start of battle, collectible heroes gain 50% health and 10% attack. At the start of the turn, Mr. Gold has a chance to gain plus 45%. 45% to gain damage. Okay, so there's a chance to gain each of these. A 45% chance to gain damage block 2 for 2 turns, 35% chance to gain prepared, and a 65% chance to gain attack up 2 for 1 turn. At the end of the turn, Mr. Gold healed himself for 6% of max health. Okay. Big development. At the start of battle, city heroes gain 70% attack, 10% speed, and 10% accuracy. At the end of Mr. Gold's turn, heals hero with lowest health for 10% of Mr. Gold's max health, so really good there. Whenever Mr. Gold uses his ability, he has a 55% chance to perform a bonus attack to a random foe, and a 35% chance to perform Crystal Clear ability on a random foe, with 20% chance to perform Spending Spree ability. So whenever Mr. Gold uses his ability, so I guess any of those, he has a 55% chance to perform a bonus attack to a random foe, which also has a chance to do 2 attacks, I guess. And he has a 35% chance to perform Crystal Clear, and then a chance to do... Okay, so this one, then a chance to do Spending Spree. So he can just clear all debuffs. And a random hero attacks. Okay, he's going to be kind of strong. You want to put the passive block on him, definitely, 100%. Easter Chick. This set offers powerful buffs and needed heals. It's truly excellent. At the start of battle, explore heroes. Get that out of it. Health is increased by 10%. Okay. Don't remember all the collectibles are explore or not. Then you have, whenever a hero is defeated, all collectible heroes' build ability cooldowns are reduced by 1. Now whether that refers to your allies or enemies, or all of them. A random collectible hero's pep is increased by 60%. Whenever a collectible attacker hero uses a special ability, there is a 40% chance to inflict heal block 1 for 2 turns on a random foe, so pretty decent. At the start of battle, builder heroes' defense is increased by 20%. Whenever a costumed hero deals damage to a foe, they have a 80% chance to inflict skill down 2 for 1 turn. Hero deals damage to a foe, 80% chance to inflict. Okay. And a 50% chance to inflict brick for 2 turns. If a foe was already inflicted with skill down, they are inflicted with disarmed for 2 turns. Whenever corncob guy or chili costumed fan deal damage to a foe with damage over time, there's a 40% chance to inflict 1 stack of time bomb for 3 turns. Okay. After a hero attacks, and if a foe's health is less than 60%, there's a 70% chance to inflict fear for 1 turn, and 50% chance to inflict confuse for 2 turns. Whenever a chicken suit guy or super wrestler uses special ability, there is a 70% chance to inflict heal immunity for 2 turns to 1 random foe with heal block, fear, or dizzy. Whenever a collectible hero gains a buff, gain 2 to 5 stacks of heal over time for 2 turns, and have a 55% chance to heal for 10% of their max health. Okay. Plus 3% bonus heal for each confused on the battlefield. At the start of the hero's turn, if they have confused or time bomb, the attack is increased by 5%, and they gain attack up for 2 turns. Okay. And then you have, whenever a hero assists, they have a 40% chance to heal for 8% of the max health, and their grit is increased by 5% whenever a collectible hero damages a foe. 1 random hero has a 20% chance to assist and deal 40% damage. If they are a costume, they have a plus 25% bonus chance to assist. And they just have down here a gloriously rebalanced collectible journey event just in time for Easter celebrations. So lots of stuff going on there. I will say I at least like this set, I think, more than the Ninjago one. It feels a little bit more. I mean, some of the stuff's a little bit over there with what it gives them. Although I like it, feels a little bit more in line with some other stuff, personally. I like the thing about being confused, damage over time. It feels a little bit more in line with that. But I like how it feels like this mostly works for costumed heroes, costume collectible units. But there's some other stuff in here for some of the other collectible heroes as well if you want to mix them in with a team. So it doesn't feel too bad. You have Corn Cob Guy at 5 stars since he was login reward last month. Yeah, I think I still have 20,000 to get him, something like that. But right quick, let's go ahead and move on over into the game. So I guess we'll do something while we talk about this, which let me go ahead and swap over right quick. Okay. That should have swapped on over. I mean, I don't think they're going to be bad, definitely by any means, but they could be maybe too good, but not. I have to see how they work. Some of Mr. Gold's stuff is a little bit random with maybe you might call an assist and you might do this and you might do that. Do you see how often that actually works out? Because I think if it happens a lot for you, it's going to be lots better than if it doesn't. But see how often that actually kind of triggers. I haven't really upgraded anything. I just slapped on some gear pieces for him. I don't think I actually saw many of his comments because I was like asleep at the time. I think I just saw the thing about the golden tickets. All I really saw for the stuff he had. But these are just people keeping track of. It feels almost like. I feel like the thing you might want to do is I feel like Super Wrestler for sure, Corn Cob Guy for sure, Chicken Soup Guy, yes, Chili, and maybe I like Cactus, but I think there's a little bit more synergy for Hot Dog Man in this, so you might want to try a team like that with the Easter Chick set, maybe. Although I'm a fan of Cactus Suit Girl. I do like my Cactus Suit Girl. I'm definitely going to save that for Andreas. But yeah, I'm just kind of having these kind of be working on their gear pieces at least for a little bit so I can get them ready. If you don't mind, what all did he kind of say on there? Because I guess I missed something. I thought they were just kind of teasing they might be working. Like I wasn't expecting to hear too much anytime too soon, given all the stuff that's going on with them. Like I wasn't going to hold that against them. I almost felt bad. It's like I wasn't holding my breath, but like they had like a really good reason for not have gotten anything done. So I was surprised to hear they did have this much stuff done. But I feel like a team like that would be decent. Maybe substitute out him for Mr. Gold. But I feel like there's some decent stuff in here for having another costume fig on your team. Though maybe Mr. Gold counts as a costumed fig. So if he does, definitely have him on there. Although I don't know, maybe Yuppie. I also want to try out kind of Mr. Gold on the city team. I think he's going to be more when the city gets like updated again. It's not going to be like too soon. But I definitely want to try him. I'm also be interested because it sounds like he wants to be on like a business team with Trent and Yuppie. So the next update, they want enough classic space. Also Buff City and Ghostbusters. More new game modes and raids this year at least. Raids would be interesting, but raids has been like in the works for so long. I mean, at this point, I might even just say settle for a different game mode. Although I think they need to ask the community really what kind of game mode would they want. I think there's lots of low-hanging fruit that you could take from other games similar to this and just put that in there. That would probably work, but just give us some reason to do it. Like I'd like some more stuff to maybe do, but don't make it like Expedition or Tournaments, which is just kind of like a time sink. Ghostbusters, I mean, it's Ghostbusters. Well, the lesser Ghostbusters, I wouldn't mind getting a buff, or I guess maybe more so kits rework. Like Ray and Winston could definitely use a kit rework. Vinkman, I feel like is decent. Egon's kind of decent, and Slimer's decent. Like I don't know if those need much of a look at. The set needs to be looked at. Make the set a little bit more straightforward. Although I think they just set all that stuff up very weird from the get-go. I don't think Ghostbusters exactly need to be like a top tier team. There's at least like I would like to have almost everybody stay relevant, but this is going to be a game where like the newest stuff's kind of going to be the best stuff to encourage you to go and get the new stuff. Like Ghostbusters are old, but they also can't add anything really new to that faction since it's all licensed IP stuff. I'm actually surprised they can even touch it, to be honest. But like collectibles can get new collectible figures, pirates can get new pirate figures, they can get some buffs, some other stuff, but you kind of generally add new stuff in there to sort of buff them. And I think Ghostbusters is just a weird point where you can't add in new figs that have more updated kits. I mean, I guess you could try to buff them, and they might do that so they can continue to sell them since they can't add in anything else to that one. But that's a little bit in City. I wouldn't mind seeing some City buffs, at least for especially some of the extra sucky other units. Like I would like City to become more meta, but they might could just do that with a new set and maybe like a couple new figs, just like some good overpowered stuff. Also, if you nerf classic space a little bit, I think that would help them stand out. Right now, everything kind of is competing against classic space. Although I also feel, personally, the biggest, maybe iffy thing for me about classic space, well, I guess kind of a couple things. The pep stuff, they're maybe a little bit too fast. Like, with as much pep stuff as they get, I would actually decrease the speed, like, universally. Just, like, across the board, make them slower, so they're not, like, the fastest team. And can also increase the pep to the crazy amounts that they can. Maybe they can increase the pep, but they're also slow, so that kind of makes up for they haven't increased the pep to catch up to other people, but they also slow down some other people, so they get slower. The debuff immunity is a little bit too strong. Like I know there's just like a chance for it to trigger, but most like people that do debuffs do like more than one debuff. Like most of the new people do a lot of debuffs at a time. Like that Chili fan can do 5 stacks of damage over time. That's 5 debuffs. So that's 5 chances to trigger a debuff community, which I think makes him a little bit too strong because so many people rely on debuffs. Like I think some of the debuffs are a little crazy. Some people do, like fighting Spooky Army in turn 1, getting like everybody disarmed, or disarmed. Dooku Grimhelma spinning around with a battle axe. Like that's extra annoying. And I think maybe something needs to be looked at there. Maybe some more ways to cleanse debuffs, but don't just outright make you and almost everybody on your team immune to debuffs. I think that might work a little bit too much. Yeah, I had said the piece. I think nobody else really needed the piece for him. Oh no, that wasn't him. Who did I do? Oh, it was Corn Cob guy, I think. And then he had a couple other pieces I could just slap on him. But let's see. But I think that, and maybe Andreas. Andreas is a little. He does lots of stuff with his kid. The one thing I will say though is like him fighting against Demo Dummy. He'll just keep on healing the team, attacking against a team that does payback or whatever, like a team with Don Such on it. Magestro guided in. He bought like a bunch of stacks of payback. He's a very big liability because his AoE attack is kind of neat, but if they will retaliate or heal off of hitting anybody like Go-Go or whoever, him doing like 6 damage a hit isn't really worth him actually ever using his basic. Which I almost feel like he kind of needs a rework just from that. Like, I almost wish you could have a way to choose to not use his debuff. How's the internet doing? We're still okay. I think we're still here. I just saw it reload right quick. But yeah, give me something. Like, I think there could be like an actual good reason to maybe rework his kit a little bit. Because also too, if they're not going to be as meta as they are now, I think Andreas could actually be a liability with his AoE attacks. But yeah, just kind of update on where I am right now. This is my roster. if anybody is interested in this. DigiJ is ready to be maxed out next money bags. Let's see, who else? Getting them with him, I mean, he was like the lowest priority from the early adopters event. So I didn't really like do much farming for him, but I wouldn't mind maybe maxing him out at some point, but I focus more on Leo and Alan. Let's see, Demo Dummy's now ready to be maxed out, so it'll be kind of nice. I don't really get too many extra tiles with him, so it's not too big of a deal. Iggy's ready to be maxed out, which will be nice. Alan's ready for 5 stars. Scully is ready for their 4th star. And Castaway Hank is ready for 5 stars, which I'm really looking forward to upgrading him. And here's my poor little 2 new Ninjago characters, because they don't really get any love. I'll say get love. They added an event that didn't want me to get them. I guess I'll just phrase it like that. But I'm also looking forward to working some more soon on, which I might actually test them out in Arena. Ernest and Non-Search for also working a little bit on some of these other Imperials as well to do more stuff in the Imperial events. But I kind of want to try out that anti-classic space team, because that does seem like that will be kind of a fun one. Which I might go and go even into Arena right now and see about using it. Do we want to? I mean, I think I'm probably going to lose this team I've been kind of sitting here with. Just trying out somebody a little bit different, like a couple good figs in there, but I don't think that should be a particularly hard team to beat. But yeah, I don't think this is going to go well for me. But I do want to try it out. Like, I do want to have fun with this team to try it out. Would like to get it up and running, because it just seems like a weird one to use. And then go ahead and attack me, Santa. And that is 7. Accuracy down here. That's probably that debuff looks like. Yeah, see, they'll have like debuff immunity almost all on them already, so like I can't really do anything against them. I guess I'll select on for you. Was it this one that does his taunt? Oh, let's go ahead and clear all the debuffs. There we go. I'm gonna drop that on somebody. Why would we attack? Yeah, let's go to Saga. I want to see what this team does. I don't know if it's going to work out for me. Non-Such doesn't seem to be triggering many assists. Or maybe it's just them lacking the sound, so I don't really hear Ernest attacking too much. I think this is also just a team that's probably way more leveled than my team, so this is probably not like the best one to really handle this one with. But it does definitely look interesting. I mean, I think I can see where that could definitely work. That's what I think. He probably wasn't even maxed at skill. I mean, I haven't like super upgraded them, waiting up for them. I think my non-search probably isn't either. I'm gonna be honest. I had actually noticed, I think I mentioned this like in one of my last streams, but I was wondering why my Andreas seemed like he always did like way less work than the enemy teams did. And I noticed I had like all of his abilities besides his first one, like his basic ability at like level 3. I went and upgraded them a little bit, but I held off on using some of the green elixirs to see if else I needed to level up for the anniversary event. I just never upgraded the rest of them, which I thought was really fun. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why he's not really doing that much. I haven't really touched him at all. No, yeah, stuff's kind of up besides this one, but Yeah, maybe hold off on those right now. Let's see, what else does Ernest get if I touch on him some more? Oh, his stuff's level 1. No, never mind. No wonder he's not really doing much. We just like spend like the basic stuff. I might hold on some of the green elixirs for right now. Cause I might need. Actually, I don't think I actually need any of these for any of my other like costume people. Cause I think I've actually leveled them up pretty well. Yeah, there we go. That will help quite a bit there. This stuff still being basic level definitely won't help me. But let's see, like I said, let's double check. Did you know I did upgrade all of your stuff? Okay, so I do have, I think, 3 green elixirs to spend on some people. So I will probably do that soon. I think I did everything here, right? Then I go ahead and, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of want to do like another, arena battle now that I actually have the stuff upgraded. But I might do that after I do this little next segment here. So if you have any other questions go ahead and ask it soon. I'm gonna probably take a little bit of this to do. I'm probably just gonna like live do a recording here and just edit it out at a later date. Because I went ahead and wrote up a thing about who, like, my new player, like, recommendation stuff. So, if you have anything you want to go ahead and ask, there will be a couple minutes while I go through this to get it all worked out. We'll be changing over probably the music. I might even go back to just the basic music in LEGO Legacy. Just let it kind of happen. It's been a little bit since I've had basic music going. It might be kind of fun. We have a ghost quest? Yeah, I think we did. Maybe we did. Not that I'm seeing, although I also have ghost finished, so I probably won't be seeing it. But just a couple more seconds, then I will be changing over the chat over to have like the script for this wrote out. So I will be not looking at chat for just a little bit. Just this quick heads up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on over now. Drive. Here we go. I'm looking for LLHU. Edit. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to, give me a second. I'm gonna have to. I completely messed up the thing over here. Let me just back out. Let's not try to edit it on the phone. So that really does not work. Okay, let me just go ahead and delete that since I've royally screwed that up. Oh no, I don't want any of that double whatever that was going on there. Okay, so paste. Select that. I need to decrease the text size, which I don't see on my phone to do so. Let's lower that down to about there. I think that should probably be good. And bring back up the game. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. That's much more readable. Hello, welcome to this kind of new, let me skip that. Hello, and welcome to Bator Ripley's new player guide for LEGO Legacy Heroes in the Box. Now, in this one, I will be talking about a couple different starter teams and who I would recommend farming for some different locations within the game. So it'll probably be another video later that goes over some more like the basics of the game, but right now I just want to talk about some basic teams in the game and kind of where to get them. So the first thing that you will want to do when you start this game is you will want to come in here and just mostly I didn't make just like that. And mostly focus here on the Pirates team. For Pirates, I would recommend you will want Redbeard, Darwin, Argenta, Bart, and Scarlet. Two other maybe rotational figures you might could squeeze in here could be York and Hank. Hank's a good one that goes with the team. It's just he's not the easiest one to get, so I'd definitely replace him with Darwin. He's a better Darwin, but Darwin's much easier to get. And York's a weird one where he works on the Pirates team and Castle team, so he's a good way to get a fifth figure for this team that works with two different teams. But for the most part, I would say stick with the core five of Scarlet, Redbeard, Bart, Argenta, and Darwin. For Redbeard, you get him for daily login. You get, I think, 3 tiles a day if you do all the daily quests. You might have him in some different like limited options and some other stuff, but for the most part, I think he's just that. He might fully be from there, but just I want to point out there might be a couple other ways to get some other tiles appear and pop up every now and then. But that's the main way to get tiles for him. He's not farmable anywhere else. And Darwin, you get him from Glyph Hunt. In Glyph Hunt Map 1 Hard 3. And you get him from Piptown United Map 1 Hard 1. So you can farm him on both of those pretty early. Sorry, I said Glyph Hunt. That would be Glyph Hunt 2 Hard 3. That's the first one where you actually get lootable, not lootable nodes, but we actually get ones we actually can loot tiles from. So you actually be getting him from there. You can actually get him there pretty easily. He's like a very early one, so that's why I have him like over Hank. Is just while Hank is better, he's way easier to get. Very cheap one. Also, just quick heads up, I only wrote down the stuff I really thought would be like the best ways to get them. Some of these characters are available in certain stores, which I might go over a little bit later. I might mention them when I go over the stores. But there's other stuff you get in that store that is exclusive that you need to be getting before you get them from the store. So if they are available in other stores, I just didn't mention them. Because some of these characters are available in other ways, but I don't really mention anything that's not really a good way to get the character. Also, there are some events that give some of these characters some other things and time quests. Unless that's like the only way to get it, I don't really mention those either, since those just kind of pop up every now and then. Then it's best to get the stuff that's like fully exclusive to those events from most of those events. Next up, you have Pirate Princess Argenta. She's available in Piptown United Map 2 Hard 2 and Map 5 Hard 1. She's also available in Monolith Waste Map 5 3. She's also available in the Mashup store, which I think she might be a worthy purchase option from the Mashup store. So I am mentioning that for her. Also, until like a fairly recent update, she was only available in the 2 Piptown nodes in the Mashup store. She wasn't available in the Monolith Waste Map 5 that didn't exist at the time. And that one's probably late enough where once you reach that point, you probably don't really need her again. But I'm just mentioning that because you might reach that point and still be trying to max them out, so you can go farm her there. You also have Bart, who is a really good healer early on. He is available in Piptown United, Map 2, Hard 4, and the Mashup store. him and Argenta are both in the mashup store and are both probably equally worth purchasing. They may be bought a little bit over Argenta since she's a little bit farmable from other places. But these are two good pirate options that you really kind of need. And then Scarlet is only available in the Arena store. For set, Wrath Raider works decent early on, but you will want to swap over to Forbidden Island and use that as soon as you can. Though it kind of varies depending on how long you can actually use Wrath Raiders. I think it's better than lots of other people do, so I don't think it's as big of a deal to keep using that for a little bit longer. But Forbidden Island is a superior set that does a lot of similar stuff and more than Wrath Raiders. So it's kind of like an upgrade to Wrath Raiders than just a kind of like different set that's better. It's just a little bit more upgrade. But you will be wanting to work on these figs for the weekly coin challenge or weekly coin event, depending on how you view it. It's the one that runs once a week. You need all the way up to 7 stars to the last node of that one. Like, it's locked to having 5 7-star figs, so you need to get them up. They also are a great arena starting team, so just keep that in mind. That'll probably be the first team you want to work on. Gold is very important. You need that for lots of stuff. The second most important team I say to work on is Castle, and it's similar to Pirates. Not as good of an arena team, but they are what gets you the scrolls, which you also need scrolls level up figs, which is very important. It becomes a little bit more important later on when that you start using more scrolls than you are gold. Like, you reach a point with gold isn't as much of a problem, but early on gold is a bigger problem, I would say, than scrolls. But I would say Castle is the second most important team to use, since they are used for the weekly scroll challenge like the Pirates are used for the weekly gold challenge. Also, Castle is a good team to get you through Pit Pound United. Pirates is more Glyph Hunt. I believe most, if not all of them, are a not builder, an explorer. So they are Glyph Hunt. These are mostly builders, if I remember correctly. So these would be more Pit Town United. But for this team, you will want Magisto, you will want Verda, you will want Go-Go, you will want Barnabas, and then for a little bit of a different rotation here, you will also want Brutus, York, or Headley. Headley might be an interesting one to hear recommended, because I will admit I am recording this off the stream, so most people are kind of shocked me recommending Headley, but I will get to that here in a bit. Magisto can be gotten from achievements. That's his main way to be gotten. I think there might have been one time quest that gave out a couple of tiles of him, but that's the only way you can get him. And there's only so many achievements in the game, so you currently can't actually max him out, which is a problem for that weekly scroll challenge that needs you to have 5 7-star figs for the last node. And that's kind of the main reason I have some different options listed in here, because you won't be able to do, unless by the time you watch this they've added lots more achievements, although by that point it'll be way later in the game. We won't be using Magisto. So you'll need to find a 5th fig to use that's not him, and I think Headley's a decent early enough option for that. But for other figs, you do have Berta, who is in Glyph Hunt Map 4 Hard 3. And I think she's also available in the mashup store. I would say probably focus on Pirates first, since both the gold is more immediately important the earlier you join, well, earlier in the game. Scrolls is a little bit later, so it's not as big of a deal. Like, I would get the Pirates first, but you can get her from there later. But that's the way you get her. Go-Go is Pip Town United Map 4 Hard 4. And he's also in some of the smaller moneybags time quests. Him and York seem to kind of alternate there. So he is a little bit harder to get, since he only has that one node to farm, which is a little bit unfortunate. And he's kind of, I'd say, a core basic castle thing. Like the basic King's Court castle that you're probably running early on. He's a pretty big one, a big part of that. Next up, you have Barnabas. He is on Glyph Hunt Map 4 Hard 2 and Map 5 Hard 1. So he's kind of like Go-Go, but he actually has 2 nodes, which makes him, I think, a lot easier to get than Go-Go only having 1 node. So you have to spend more gems immediately if you want to speed it up, because you have to refresh that 1 node versus going between the 2 different nodes, which I mean, you also might get to spend some gems there, but it's more... It hurts your gem stash a lot less to be farming Barnabas than it does Go-Go. And then for my 5th big, this is the one I went with early on, was Brutus. Though the issue with him is Brutus can mostly just be got from the arena store. Sorry, not arena store. Yeah, he can be got from the arena store, I'm saying mashup store. But you can get from the arena store, and he can be got from a few nodes every now and then in Brickspedition. So he's a little bit slower, though granted, I think I've got him kind of maxed out before Brickspedition was a thing, so that might speed up your acquisition of him. The only issue with him, though, is with him mostly being available from Arena Store, there's much better things to be got from the Arena Store, such as Scarlet. And even the other best pirate tank, I guess you might say best pirate tank, is Valiant, and he's also exclusive to that store. So it's kind of, if you're working on a pirate team, which is the most important, you want a pirate tank, and the 2 like main tanks are stuck to that store. So it makes getting him not as high of a priority, even if I do love the Fig himself. And that's also kind of why I have 2 alternates on here with York and Headley. York is kind of the same as I mentioned last time. He's got it from the Time Quest, and I think he might be available in a couple of the different stores with some special thing. I think he's added to the Arena Store as well. Also, make sure this is York, this is Scully. They kind of look the same. Let's just look deeply into the eyes. But I wouldn't recommend buying him from the Arena Store either. He's definitely not worth buying from the Arena Store. Then you have Headley. Headley's available Glyph Hunt Map 2 Hard 1. He's just a very early, easy to get Fig. I feel like I might actually forgot one more node he's at. I feel like he might be on another early node. But he's just like a basic castle tank, and he will work for you for that last node. I think I did that last scroll node with him, Brutus, Verda, Go-Go, and Barnabas. He's just an easy one to get up to max star level. Actually, I think he's up to Monolith Waste map 1 at the very end there. But he's just another one you get that's easy to get to max stars, so you can get the maximum scroll income per week, which will really help you out in the long run. And the set you want here, all sets I would say in Castle are good. There are definitely ones who are better than each other, but the starter set is really good. It's probably the one you'll want to be doing, maybe even, well, it's definitely probably the one you'll want to do when you have Magister on your team. Early on, the payback counts as be really good. But later game, you will probably want to move over to Majestro's Tower or Trader Transport. Trader Transport works more with the spooky stuff. Basically, most of the castle figs we haven't talked about, these 4 down here, these 3 up here, and even York falls under that one, is working pretty decently. Both of those are, I'd say, superior sets to Guarded In. They're definitely better in a later game, but they work with some different teams. They're kind of maybe side grades-ish. Trader Transport, though, you would only really want to be using if you're using a more spooky focused team. Majestro's Tower is a more magical focused team. But there is a lot of overlap there between those. Next up, for the 3rd most important team to farm is City, which is interesting because City kind of sucks, at least right now, the time I'm recording this. But they are probably the next team that you want to be focusing on. They are used for the weekly, I believe it's called Missing Materials event. It can get you tier 1 and 2 centaurs and tier 1, 2, and 3 elixirs. It's a nice little boost of all of those. It just kind of helps get you through. You also can do that pretty early on. There's not a you don't need to do the last node with 7-starred figs. There's no lock on it like that. It'll probably make it easier. I think some people were doing this with figs at 4 stars. It's hard, especially with some different reworks I've gone into there over the years. But this is probably the third most important thing to focus on, at least early, because it helps get you those extra materials a lot quicker. And also, this team is used for lots of node locks and different events. So I would definitely recommend kind of having a decent city team just whenever you might need them, because they will probably get you through whatever is like city locked, but just the city locked stuff is kind of pretty challenging since city isn't that all that great. But the 5 figs you want to get from here, plus one bonus one, is you'll want to have Firefighter Ash, you want to have Arctic Explorer Aurora, you will want to have Street Sweeper Sal, you will want to have Chef, which I like his name is just Chef, doesn't have any other name, he's just Chef, and you will want to have Trent. The other one here, Businessman Trent, is you will want Officer Primo. But Officer Primo is a master event fig, so he's a little bit harder to get. You need to have a full 5-star castle team in order to unlock him, to be able to use him. He is pretty much better than Businessman Trent, but due to the other stuff you have to unlock him, I wouldn't exactly say he is the biggest core, at least early on to this team. Businessman Trent will do the job. But Ash, you can get her from Arena Store, which there's lots of stuff in Arena Store, so we'll get into that later. Aurora can be gotten from Glyph Hunt, Map 5, Hard 2, and Piptown United, Map 3, Hard 4. Sal can be gotten from Monolith Waste, Map 1, Node 4. Chef can be gotten from Monolith Waste, Map 3, Node 7. Primo, of course, is the Master event. And Trent can be gotten from Monolith Waste, Map 2, Hard 2. So City's kind of a little bit weirdly... there's lots of stuff from City in Monolith Waste, so it's kind of a quick one to farm up in there. So like that's a decent team to get you going. It will probably get you through most of the City lock stuff. I think even Businessman Trent can get you through some like the anniversary notes that's locked there. It's kind of a weird one because City is hardly ever used, and it's like 1 or 2 node locks. You have to beat it with like a good City team. So it's good to have one up besides just this event, but it is kind of an odd team to have. The best set to be used for this team, at least as of right now, I think there might be a City we walk around the corner, is Ice Glider. It just makes Aurora be able to revive these people quicker. So that's the one you want to focus on. And then the 4th most important team, I would say, is a kind of a general space team, because space can get you some extra materials. Though what you really want to be working on is something in particular called Classic Space. They're kind of the best in-game team right now. Granted, when I was getting ready to get this recorded, they have dropped some patch notes for a couple new collectible figs, and talking about maybe doing Classic Space snuff. These won't be as important as they used to, but this is a pretty solid in-game team to be working towards. This team consists of Spaceman Reed, Spaceman Jen, Spaceman Alan, Spaceman Leo, and Spaceman Andreas. Reed can be gotten from Monolith Waste, Map 1, Node 3. So he is a very early, easy one to get. These other ones are not. Gens can only be gotten from the Master Store and the Techie All-Star event. Unless they change that sometime soon. But he is the master fig rewarded for that event. He also can be gotten from some different time quests, some other things, but that's kind of the main way to get him. Alan is locked in the Early Adopters Brick Pace. Leo is also locked in the Early Adopters Brick Pace and requires you to have Alan to be able to get him. And Andreas is locked in the Holiday Break Brick Pace. So lots of these are a little bit more late game fix, but this is a solid late game team to work towards and something to work towards for space. Though other space team will also work. Basically, the kind of 5 free-to-play space fees will get you through a decent bit of the space stuff. That is Commander Cold, Dr. Kelvin, Locust, Reed, and Dwayne. They will get you through some of the stuff. Most of the other figs that aren't them are locked to something else. Like the Blacktron Quincy is also locked to the Early Adopters event. Major Catastrophe is locked to an All-Star and the Master Store as well. I think you have to get them in bags. And Goldwell is locked to bags and All-Star. So the basic team will do you some good. They're just not as needed. The stuff they get you, I don't think is as good. Besides Ghost, that'll be covered more in a different video. They're not really that important. The Goldwell's Great Escape gets you some decent-ish gear, but at this point the gear is kind of outdated and it's too kind of sporadic to really say it's that useful, because lots of times you just get stuff that nobody needs, so it's not really that important. But next up, we will be going over the stores and what's best to farm for them. Lots of these people, we've mentioned the different stores. We are going to be covering the general store, since the general store all has stuff to buy with gems. So buy at your own discretion here. I say it's a little bit more welly. Like maybe there's somebody that you can have something like to finish them up. Like I guess maybe Corncob Guy could be good. Like buy a couple of extra towels of him, like for myself, and finish him off. But I feel like generally there's better uses for your gem than buying in here. But first thing first, we're going to start off with the arena store, which is probably the most important store in here. As you say, you have Skeleton York, Valiant Scarlet, Lloyd, Ash, and Brutus. These are the ones locked in here. It used to be, I think, the only ones in here besides York. And they added in some of these other ones. But most of them can be found other places, so I'd really stick to the ones that are mostly locked here. Like Valiant, Scarlet, Lloyd, and Brutus. Oh, and Ash. All those are locked here. Everybody else can basically be gotten outside of this. I guess besides York, but I say York can be at the bottom. But in my recommendation on who to farm here, first up would be Scarlet. Get you a good solid pirate tank. Your investment will come back to help you, since Pirates is a good early team in Arena. She will go into that team, make that team stronger, which will basically get you more currency to buy more of her. So it kind of works out pretty decently. Option 2, I have it split between Brutus and Ash. It kind of depends what you want to go for. Ash is probably more critical to the team she is on than Brutus, but I think Castle will get you more quickly than City will. So kind of either or. I personally went Brutus first. I like him. But I probably would say at least second or third. It's kind of up to you, which one do you want more. Do you want set tools and ability elixirs, or do you want to actually get more scrolls? Because scrolls are a little bit tight early on. Much tighter later game than early on. Like I said, gold is kind of the big hindrance early on, but you might run into some problems with a little bit of gold or a little bit of scrolls, and you can also use him in Piptown United. So it's really up to you there. Fourth, depending on how you look at it, is Lloyd. He is kind of a core Ninjago fig. Might be moving out now late again that Ninjago has a new tank, but not too many people are really there to use the new Ninjago stuff. But if you're using the Ninjago team, you probably want to have Lloyd. I mean, you really want to have Lloyd. He's just very important for that team. I might even say kind of more important than Brutus, and maybe even Ash. It's just Ninjago is not used too much, and he's been kind of enough where he's not really that good. So there's him. Then I say fifth place is Valiant. He was a pretty good pirate tank, and he still is. It's just Scarlet is better. She's a Buccaneer instead of an Imperial, so she works even better with the Buccaneer pirate team that you'll be using early game in Arena. I'll just say probably later games, since you might be doing some Imperial stuff, the stuff with the Imperial brick pace, you might kind of want to have him, but that's a little bit more later game. Imperials is much later game than Buccaneers are, and they're not necessarily as needed. So that's where I put this one. And I guess after him, maybe some York. Get him up there because he is a little bit more exclusive. The other people you can get, I mean, maybe Go-Go over him because Go-Go is a little bit harder to get, but like Go-Go is not exclusive to this this store. So I really wouldn't go for him. Next up, we have the Guild Store. These are less more opinion based, I would say, in my opinion. But my first recommendation for this store would be Lego House. It is a solid collectible set. At the time of recording this, he is still technically the only collectible set. There is a new one coming that would probably be much more late game than this. But it is a set that also works well with a couple other teams. It's like a good multi-use set, really. It's not too much tag locked, I would say. But it's also basically exclusive to this one store. So if you want to get this set, you kind of need to be farming it from here. And I think it's the thing that gives you the best use. Next up, I will say Spooky Girl, though that is fairly optional. She's just a very good spooky fig, which is needed for some all-star event or an all-star event. I think she might have gotten a node at some point, but one time she was like locked to this store. She's still probably worth buying once you get that set maxed out. Of course, she's like much cheaper than the set. I could almost see maybe even going for her over this set, depending on what you're working at with the cost here. But I'd put her at second, but she's very optional. There's lots of other new good spooky figs added in through like the Spooky Army edition, which is very hard to get them, but those are also spooky figs. So if you need like a 5th spooky fig for your spooky army, you don't exactly need Spooky Girl as much as you used to, but she's still pretty good. The third option would be Storm. She's a decent castle fig. It's just she doesn't synergize as well as the other ones. She's not King's Court, so it doesn't get some benefits as the core 5 I listed with Magisto, Barnabas, Go-Go, Verda, and Brutus. They give us a little bit of a speed boost to each other, which is very useful. She doesn't because she's not tagged similarly, but she is pretty decent and she's pretty cool. And she was locked this store. I know for sure she's on map 5 of Monolith Waste at this point, so you could get there and farm her from there. But she's not as important, but she is a little bit more limited than the other figs in here. And then you have Clay at the 4th place. I believe he is still very much exclusive to this store. It's just he's not that great. I mean, he might work as a 5th fig besides Trent, but considering you have these other stuff that's lots more locked to this store than him, I would definitely recommend to get him kind of last. Everybody else is like attainable other places. Like I'm only currently buying Yuppie because I don't have anything else really to max out in this store, so I'm just sure I'll do that instead of actually farming his node. I think Zombie at one time was, I believe he got like a Monolith Waste node or something. He's just not that great. He's the only other kind of more limited thing. Darwin's available other places. Kelvin's available other places. Kai is, and so is Nia. There's other one that say just lots more useful in general. Then we have the mashup store. Also, just be warned, the mashup store kind of changes somewhat frequently depending on what events are being ran. So like right now, Cookbot is 600 calls, but sometimes he goes up to like 800 or something calls. I think they did that with Reed right now with 800 calls. Technically right now the Ghost event is running, which requires you to use Space Figs, so they kind of raised the price of some of these required figs right now, but I think afterwards he'll drop back down to 600. Before this store, my recommendation would be first up going bot, because Argenta is available early on somewhere else. Also, I think you get to like early on at the start of the game like 3 stars, but you have to kind of farm on up. But I say Bart, then Argenta. You basically get both of them up for pirates because they're the like most important team. Third option would be Chef. He's a really good healer for City. That kind of helps you on with that team. Next up would be Verda. I would have Verda listed higher, but Verda isn't very exclusive. I think Chef did get like a later Monolith Waste node, but Verda is much easier to get early on than Chef. And finally, I have Zane. Zane's just kind of available in lots of different places. If he's even still here, I say he's here. It doesn't look like he's still here anymore. Oh, there he is. First of all, I don't know why. Oh, yes, I don't really look too much at these higher cost ones. But he used to be a better one to get from here when he was like cheaper. But he's available in like a decent bit of other places, at least other events. But he's also required for lots of the stuff with the Ninjago and some of the chill stuff, which isn't very important. But hey, you might need him. I think that's better than some of these other ones that are much easier to get in other places. See, next up we have the Brickspedition store. Now, this is my opinion. I would say the biggest thing to get here first is Dojo. If you want to use Ninjago, Dojo's a good early set to get. Cyber Dragon also works, but that's locked from actually getting those tiles from the Brickspedition event itself. And not from buying it. I think this is a little bit more reliable way to actually get a good set for Ninjago. So I would say that's my recommendation, get an early one. Ninjago's not a bad arena team when you might can swap over to them depending on how you farm these. Next up I would say is the Tier 3 set tool or Tier 3 ability elixir. I think the set tool is more important than the ability elixir, but actually, take it back. No, don't buy the ability elixir. These rotate, I think, every like reset between the ability elixir and the set tool, so it'll be right here. Tier 3 set tools are kind of hard to come by, and this is a good way to get them early on level up. So a lot of people might even say buying that before getting this. I just think it's kind of nice to have a set for each theme that you might need at some point already ready before you need them, so it's just there ready to go. But the set tool is also pretty important. And finally, I'd say Hank. Hank's the only other like exclusive thing to this store. The only 2 exclusive things is Dojo and Hank. Granted, there are some other things you might could work on boosting up, like Sal. I really say Sal's the only one really worth it here. Or Sal and Hiker. But really, you will want to be not focusing too much on Hank, because it's just like he's good, but he's not really worth it to be farming from the Brickspedition store for the extra little bit he adds to the team. It's, I don't think, too much worth it. And then we have the Master Store. This isn't going to be something anybody new to the game will be getting to anytime like soon. But whenever you do get here, I would probably say recommend farming Jins, Willa, and Major Catastrophe in probably that order. At least up to like 5 stars or whatever. Get them ready for like all-star events and kind of move on with that. Jins, just as a classic space, really good in-game meta team. Middle-ish game meta, and he's kind of been phased out, but I still really like him. He's another good like space fig, and he's kind of a little bit plug and play-ish. And then once you finish these off, set tools really. Set tools and probably apples. But then I also want to recommend a little bit of stuff for when you get Brickspedition and what to farm here. Now for Brickspedition, I will say this right quick. The first thing you want to farm is the sets. You sometimes have sets spawn on here. It's not all the time. I think there's always like 3 set tiles here at the very end, and it's somewhat random. But you want to prioritize those, since those are basically exclusive to this game mode. They vary in use though, but in my opinion, I would say the use for these, I would rank them in Majestro's Tower is number 1. Number 2 is Cyber Dragon, so the Ninjago set. So you have Castle, and then you have Ninjago. Then you have Ice Station Odyssey, which is the space set. Space and chill. Cyber Dragon is Techie, as well as Ninjago. Then you have Eldorado Fortress, which is pirates, and specifically Imperials. And then you have the Firehouse, which is city. Though I would probably say I would recommend farming Majestro's Tower, Cyber Dragon, then over to the Figs in priority. Though it depends, you might like have some other set options because it is just kind of useful to have those. And for the Figs, how I would rank them in here is I'd probably rank Brutus as the most important one to farm. Just due to him being a really decent castle figure, but being locked to the arena store where there's other really good options for other teams. Getting him from here, I think, is definitely a good option. It's not too much, but hey, you can kind of increase your Brutus stash a little bit there. Second one would be Bot. You might can swap these around. Bot will help you lots with your Pirates team, but you'll probably be getting enough Bot from other sources that that's not going to be as big of a deal getting the 1 or 2 tiles, maybe each map you get for him. Then you have Trent and then Poppy. Overall, if I was to rank these, I would probably say straight up get Majestro's Tower, get Cyber Dragon, Brutus, Bot, Ice Station Odyssey, Eldorado Fortress, Firehouse, Trent, and then Poppy. And then for the last thing I want to mention, a couple good notes to farm in Monolith Waste. So the couple good ones I have recommended to farm is on the first map. Yep, that's Headley. You have this node here with Hiker. Hiker's a pretty decent fig. He works well in the early game. Pirate team is like a 5th figure, is like another healer to keep people healed up. He gets you tier 1 set tools. Not too many other places to get these early on. I think there's a couple other Monolith Waste nodes, but some of those, as you can see here, are empty. He at least gets you a figure. You might can go ahead and 7-star that figure kind of early, max him out, and then you start getting master tiles from here. I mean, eventually you'll reach a point where you don't need any more tier 1 set tools, but he's a good one to farm early on. And then the next 2 I have is Great White at 3.8. Great White, it's kind of a meme fig, but hey, it's another one you can level up pretty easily, and he gives you tier 2 elixirs and tier 2 set tools. Tier 2 set tools are really hard to come across. Not really that great to pay, but they do have at least 2 nodes that do actually give you some tiles, which I think are better to farm than the ones that don't, because he can at least give you some master tiles, help towards your master soul farms. The other one being also on here, which is Lighthouse. Just the Lighthouse set isn't that good. I'm not saying the Great White's that good either, but he at least gives you an option. Maybe one day Gamma Army might be somewhat useful-ish. But I'd say that one's a little bit better than this one, looking into this one earlier. It just kind of depends on what you want. You can max this one out quicker though too, with it being a set that maxed out at 5. So just get some more master tiles. Really alternate between both of these, like fully looting both of these is pretty good. It's a good way to get the tier 2 set tools to go ahead and max out some sets there. And I think really with that, that's kind of it for this beginners sort of video of recommended teams and store recommendations. There's lots of other stuff you can do, but that should get you a good start early on and kind of give you a good direction. Maybe people work towards later. Things might shift once we have this Easter update come out, add in a couple new collectibles and stuff, but all the new additions are really all late game anyway, so it's probably not too worth it to focus on them too early on, because it's going to be, I don't know, maybe a year before you even reach the point of being able to use any of that stuff. So that's just some, I think, very useful early game stuff to go ahead and use. So until next time, this is Cole Ripley signing off. Goodbye and a wonderful day. And one last thing, if you want to join an alliance, Classic Community Alliance is always looking for new members. We're probably always not fully maxed, So if you want to hop into a new person friendly guild that shares some good later game stuff that's not too crazy, you have to play X number of days, X amount of time, none of that stuff, this is the good one, and we'll be happy to have you. So with that said, this is Tor Ripley signing off. Goodbye and have a wonderful day, and hope this video has been helpful for you. Okay, I'll edit that out later. So with that said, I'm gonna hop back into the stream so I can actually check out the chat again. Okay, reading back over the chat. Gogo's asking what do you think will be buffed next. I feel like it really should be City, but it's kind of hard to say. I don't know if they're gonna go like that. Because I mean, you even see them after they nerf Classic Space, adding in some more space fix. So I do want to go over that right quick. Oh no, the stream's not over. We're gonna be doing a couple more things right now. Just wanted to get that recorded. I might have to redo that one later. I'm not too happy about that. Went a little bit long. I might just make it into like a text thing. But for stuff I would like to see added into, I mean, of course, City. For reworks, Poppy could use a rework. I mean, Poppy's just terrible. Crook Chuck isn't good, but he is like an early game tank. Like he's, I think, supposed to meant to be early game, and I think he works for that purpose. So I mean, I wouldn't mind him getting buffed a little bit. Maybe have some more spooky synergy. Oh, you gotta eat. Okay, see you soon. I might be going to eat myself soon too. So him getting some more like wanted synergies, I think, would be useful. But I don't know if he necessarily isn't too bad of a state, because he is supposed to be an early game fix. Minor Clay and Iggy, on the other hand, are both a little bit later game figs, with Iggy being at the end of the main campaign, so a lot harder to get there, and Minor Clay being locked mostly to the guild store. So like, I think both of these have become better for how late they are into the game to get. Trent having some little bit more use wouldn't be too bad. I don't know, have some weird business synergies going on might be kind of fun. But I think these could probably work well. Or probably some sort of Courage rework or something to make Courage a little bit better. But just maybe adding in 2 new figs for it. Mr. Gold sound like he's gonna have some synergies, so you might have like Ash, Sal, Aurora, and maybe you swap out Primo or Chef for Mr. Gold, because Mr. Gold's gonna do some other healing stuff. Like, yeah, maybe probably Chef. And then you have Primo there doing some other things, so maybe you throw on Businessman Trent instead of Primo. It might be kind of a fun team, but I feel like if you give 2 more figs to here, you probably do pretty good with Ash. I mean, Ash is in a goodish state, I would say. Sal is still kind of decent. Could maybe use a little bit extra love. I mean, what, not having a passive and everything probably be really nice. I'm going to actually max that out at some point. Would not have maxed out for you either? No, okay. I thought it was like something was not there for you. But I think those are both decent. Aurora, I think, is pretty decent as well, and Chef is pretty decent. Primo's okay. I mean, he does what he does. I don't know. His kit's not my favorite. But, like, I feel like you add in 2 new figs, like, maybe keep Aurora, Ash, and Sal, and have, like, 2 new people. Maybe have, like, 1 new attacker, and I don't know, maybe another healer, or have like a different tank to replace Sal or something, swap them out. I feel like there's enough decent stuff here with City that if you added in 2 good new figs, you might could bring them back and maybe do some other stuff with Courage, or give them like an actually decent set. Like Arctic Ice Glider is decent, but it's like biggest decent stuff is with Aurora, and I guess Chef's AoE heal stuff that gives different buffs, because it like triggers some more healing and some other things. Like besides that, that set really doesn't do anything. It has like one main use with Aurora, and that's it. Give me something that works a little bit more with some other people, or maybe something to do with courage, or give other people courage stacks or something, and I think you'll be pretty good. I also think, let's see, what is it? I would like to see something else get added to King's Court, maybe 1 or 2 figs. Maybe we can give them an all-star event at some point to use King's Court. Just something else here that was the one since the beginning. It's kind of a decent one, but I wouldn't mind seeing something else come back here. Maybe give me somebody else, like 1 or 2 new figs here that's pretty good. You have that. Friday Night would be cool, but there's not really too much else to add there. Buccaneer, I think, is pretty solid. I don't know if we exactly need too many new Buccaneers. Imperial, I think, is good. It definitely doesn't, I think, need anything else added to it. We might could live with 1 more Buccaneer. Role Model could definitely probably use some more love. I don't know what exactly you would all add in here, but you probably just add in some other stuff. You probably also give these to other characters that already exist in the game and grow this out. But this could be a cool one. It's just, I don't think of as many immediate things for a role model team as I would maybe a magical team or a wanted team or an alien team. It's not, like, I don't know if I would immediately describe most of the stuff who I would stick in here as role model. It's just probably something else you can slap onto other figs, add on other things onto them. Classic Space is good. Alien, I would love to see more Alien. We only have 2. It's been here since the beginning. Like, I think this having more love would be really good. That does mean more space love, but maybe have it be more alien focused. Or maybe if they want some more collectible stuff about aliens, something like that. That could be pretty fun. Blacktron would be cool, though it's kind of limited other options you could add in for them. But there's like 3 really cool other ones you could do. Ice Planet, I'd say, is kind of done. There might be some collectibles you could kind of wiggle into there. I don't know if that one really needed to exist as a tag. At least Blacktron has a couple different generations. I think you could maybe work with there, but really not that many figs either. Spinjitzu is kind of, I guess, mostly good-ish. Would be actually interested to get like a not master event, an all-star event maybe with a Spinjitzu tag. That could be kind of cool. That could just be adding in more stuff from Ninjago, but kind of packed. Gamma Army would love to see actually get added into again. I'm really happy that Misako actually came with Gamma Army. I forgot to actually even check to see if she was or wasn't at that time. But kind of happy. I don't really exactly get what they're doing with the new adventurer tag, but hey, they're just slapping it onto some stuff, sure. But would really love to see some more Gamma Army stuff being added into the game at some point. Some more Ninjago villains. I think more Ninjago villains would be really cool. Costume is kind of good. I'd just like to see more out there costumes, like maybe some more stuff like Super Bros. Like really adding Great White to this team, I think would be really cool. Maybe some less like food related stuff. I mean, I guess Chicken Soup Guy doesn't actually have to be food related. It's just, I don't know, kind of. I guess he kind of strikes me as like a chicken restaurant mascot. But there's some other cool costume stuff you could easily add in. Hey, we're at least getting 1 new one, maybe 2 if gold's gonna be it. Then let's see, Techie I think is pretty good. I wouldn't mind more Techie. I think the only problem here is how almost all the new, well, literally all the new classic space figs also got Techie. They kind of, I think, increased this a little bit too much here. Like, I wish there was a little bit more variety. Maybe give one of these role models instead. Don't make them all Techie. Kind of, I feel like it defeats a little bit of the purpose of having classic space be a tag and just make all of them be Techie. Spooky's pretty good. Like I said, we wouldn't mind seeing some more spooky figs get added in that are not castle related. Magicals, I think, is also pretty decent, but I wouldn't mind seeing more magicals. There's lots of really cool magical figs you could add in, but I think a lot of them would probably be mostly castle related. Like, I might would have kept Reaper from getting the magical tag too as well, but hey, that's not too bad of a one. wouldn't mind seeing it being expanded. Adventurer is weird. It's something new they're doing for some reason. Wanted, I would love to see this get expanded. You probably could also easily add this to a few more figs in the game too, and have like a full-on Wanted team. Maybe work on some Forbidden Island, a little bit more Forbidden Island synergies there with a Wanted team. Justice needs to be a team at some point. Right now, I mean, most of the Imperial teams, the Imperial figs are also tagged as Justice. But I would love to see maybe Space Police or somebody else get added in here too, and maybe get like another set that works with Justice. And I mean, maybe have the Spy Track do a little bit more stuff with them. And I feel like you could make a full-on Justice team easily. Chill's decent right now. Maybe like 1 or 2 more figs. But I don't know if that's too much is needed there immediately right now. The Quays, I don't know why that's a tag in the game. And Spooky Army. Spooky Army is also a weird one. I might have left this out of there. But I mean, hey, it's kind of neat how it's something different from Friday Nights. But I feel also kind of bad having Friday Nights there just with 2 figs, and you also have this other like spooky castle faction that isn't them. Also, it feels weird that Zombies still got this tag for whatever reason. Probably would have, like I said, to York over them. I think we're going to do one more arena match. I want to try out this team again now that it's upgraded more. And see how it goes. And then I might end the stream there because like I've been talking for quite a while. My throat's kind of a little itchy feeling, so might get a rest and do some other stuff at least a little bit. Yeah, I'll pop that. Okay, let's target you. I'm going to go ahead and pop, I guess go pop this. Got use the taunt, that's great. No, that's not still debuffs yet. Let's go ahead and just keep on hitting them. Let's go and hit this. I guess we're going to pop off the ultimate. Let's go and pop this too. Why not? Get some AoE payback going. Lots of payback there. You won't want to be attacking this multiple times in a row, but you will. I think we do this till we kill him. Rip him. Rip Bozo, as you might say. Let's go steal the buffs, why not? I need to kill him next, but I want to really kill you right now. Yeah, let's hit you with that. I think unless you have debuff immunity. I don't want to get that out because she does have big AoE heal. Okay, I guess we'll focus on you then. And of course now she heals. Let's do this one. Here we go. I might let it auto here. Let's see if I can go ahead and finish this out quickly. Second Santa Ultimate. Nice. Come on, I know you can do it. Oh, he hasn't revived Andreas yet. So I guess he died and came back instantly because his revive stack's gone now? That feels weird. And now he's back, of course. So I think we have lost this one. Probably just need to put it more on auto earlier to get to it quicker. Or work more on him earlier. They granted that death spiral for Andreas was fun to watch. Although I also wish my Andreas would stop using his little rocket thing since it doesn't actually affect most of them since they have debuff immunity on. Okay, back stacks for everybody. Somebody please, do something. Oh, you're doing the trumpet thing, you just was silent the whole time. Oh come on, I could actually get you out of this now. I almost had that. Well, this would be a fun team to run a little bit more later. But yeah, I don't know if I have like too much else really. I mean, I guess I can do some more of that, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. If you do want to continue talking, feel free to hop over to Discord to do so. I mean, I'm happy to do some more typing. I just think my voice is just a little hoarse from talking for this long, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break there. But thank you all for those who came out to watch this. I had kind of fun doing this. I don't know, doing a little bit of a live reading of the kit is definitely maybe a little bit more fun than doing a video of it. But I might edit that out to a video. Well, I don't know. We did lots of talking a little bit. Did lots of stuff to edit out. So I guess until then, this is Full Guppy signing off. Goodbye and a wonderful day. And yeah, this was fun. I might do another stream later this week. Well, definitely whenever the event drops, we'll probably try to do one then. But just to see what I'm doing then at the time anyway. So until then, we'll be signing off. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. And let's go ahead and swap on over. And I forgot I have this hotkey available now.